everybody? I hope everybody's doing good. I'm doing great. I had low energy, but I brought myself up out of it with some of these techniques that I'm gonna come in here and talk to y'all about. It looks like I got some titty action, but it's just how the shirt is folded over. I want to make this quick. I decided to park so I can come in with this video. I'm already. Let me back it up and turn real quick. What up? What up? What up? 2 people in, 3 people in. Um, all right. I like to get about 3 or 4 people in usually before I get to start talking. But since I want this to be quick, I got videos to edit and things to share. I wanted to share this with some of y'all because I know that I have been there. And let's be honest, the human condition, especially nowadays, we're all going in and out of this feeling. We feel like things aren't going our way. We feel like life is happening to us instead of through us or for us. One of the things that I learned in my years of research, I'm gonna butcher. I do not know the lady's name, and I wish I could give her her proper credit. There was a psychologist who did a study on posture as it relates to your mood and how you feel. And if we all know that our inner talk, how our mood, and how we for what Google vaccine damage payment scheme, go you 2.3 billion. I mean, I already know about all that. Well, I might not know about that in particular, but hey, I already know the game. But I'll Google it. I'll screenshot it. I'll Google it. So anyway, when you feel like things aren't going your way, this pertains to your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, things like that. So we already know that our emotions and what we think about ourselves and the inner dialogue that we have at any given moment determine where we are in life and our quality of life, our level of life. So this is about to get like deep. All right. We're gonna talk about some real circumstantial stuff that's happening right now. Some people may have lost their jobs because they don't want to be subjected to any type of mandate. Right now, as they say, as history has been said, they say that uh, the revolution will not be televised. Right now, there's people all over the world holding these convoys, holding the line, saying, "Hey, check this out, y'all! Like we're done. We're done with the mandates. We're done with vaccines. We're done with this." There have been lives that have been lost, both who have had the vaccine, both who have had and haven't had the vaccine. There have been lives that have been lost due to jobs being taken away. Y'all don't hear those stories. So check this out. The revolution is not being televised, but there is a revolution happening. So I want to talk about what in this circumstance, where we're at right now. Yeah, it's a fact. That's where we're at right now. So if you feel, if you are somebody that's been y'all gotta understand this, man. And I don't think I used to tiptoe around this because I still feel even as far as at that we've gotten when it comes to science, there's still a stigma around talking about some of this stuff. But the way that I learn and understand things is very simple. I understand things from their root cause. The corporate lead do these openly. Imagine what they do behind closed doors. Facts. So I understand things at its root cause. That's why I take so much time to actually start something or talk about something in depth because I want to know the ins and outs. I want to know the history. I want to know how it pertains to today. I want to know as much about it as possible so that I can then integrate it into my life in a meaningful way. I don't want to just take information in and just have it sitting there. You know what I mean? I want to be intimate. I want to know. It's kind of like a girl you just meet or a guy you just meet. When you really love this person, you want to know everything about them. You want to know them biblically. So because if it helps me, then it can help you. Yeah. So listen, what I'm about to tell y'all, what we're about to talk about, applies to any situation that you're in. I'm going to tell y'all a quick story. It's a true story about I believe he was in Russia. It was a video I edited back when I used to do a lot of video edits. I was doing a lot of media stuff. Long story short, he was persecuted and thrown in jail. Okay. When he was thrown in jail, he used to sing and I think I learned inside the box. Yeah, oh yeah. He used to sing and say these prayers out loud um, constantly. And all the while, he was playing a mental image while he was praying about him being set free. God coming and removing him from the situation that he was in. Well, a couple of weeks, a couple of months had passed, and one day one of the guards comes to his door and comes to his cell and asks him. This is a true story. Comes to his cell and asks him, "Who are you?" And he says, "I am son of the living God. I am a child of God. That's who I believe in." Blase, blase, right? I get goosebumps talking about this. Mind you, this is a real video, music video that I edited about this guy's life. The guards say, "We don't know who you are or who's responsible for this, but we've been ordered to remove you from jail immediately." They opened up the gates, the gate opens up, and he leaves. Now, the interesting thing was, as he was walking out, all of the inmates that were in that jail with him, all right, started singing praises. They didn't even believe in God, a lot of them. They were just so dumbfounded and inspired that they started singing the same songs and prayers that he was singing when he was in jail. So, no matter where you fall on the spirituality, religion spectrum, whether you believe in God, Christianity, or not, these principles are just these are universal truths handed down by the architect, by source, by God, by the Most High, by the Mighty One, whatever you want to call it. See, God exists outside of our language. So it is beautiful. It's crazy. And I wish I could go in detail about some of the detailed stuff, but I want to make this quick. So, what did he engage in that made this possible for him? He engaged in a couple of things. He engaged in repetition, imagination, all right, and he engaged in belief. So, repetition, imagination, and belief. Not only that, but while he was doing that, he was acting as if. So we'll go ahead and we'll say that belief is acting as if. Guys, ladies, gentlemen, children, men, women. I'm telling y'all that is the formula to get out of pretty much any situation that you're in. It doesn't matter what it is. It does not matter. And I believe that a lot of our growing pains we're experiencing right now is necessary for us to realize that there's levels to this. I took a 72-hour fast to get answers. I focused all of my mental, sexual, hunger. Meditation, that's my go-to. Shout out to Ben Robinson with the truth. Meditation, and I'm gonna tell y'all, here's how I do meditation. There's a specific way that I do it. When I want to get something out of meditation, I focus first on getting completely calm, like to the point to where if they put an ECG, no, not an ECG. That's an encephalocardiogram. An EKG, man, one of them things. If they put a brain monitor on my temporal lobes, right, and or if they just had me connected to something that would monitor my brain waves, in my mind, I try to envision them getting no reading, right, no reading. Yeah, I forget what it's called. Um, and what that's doing is that's pushing me further and further down. Really, technically on the spectrum, is pushing me further up into the manifestation range, right? And that range is the alpha brainwave state. Now, what are brainwaves? Brainwaves are measurements of electronic impulses that occur within 1 second intervals. All right. So the alpha range is between 7 to 14 um I guess impulses per minute, right? Um And once you can get into this range, this is where the left brain, fact, this is where the left brain is completely shut down. Your left brain is your analytical mind. Your left brain is that thought that when you want to do something, like if you want to go holler at that girl, like even if you know she's feeling you, your left brain is what comes into play and says, nah, bro, you can't do it. Your left brain is your analytical, mathematical, non-imaginational mind. Once you get into an alpha state, your right brain, which is primarily where imagination and things like that occur, your right brain begins to take over. And your right brain essentially, once you can get into that imaginative state and that alpha must be present in me, but on a breath, say in my mind, the word strength on a breath, I say peace. That's perfect. That's perfect. You can do that too. See, there's no inherent rules to meditation. It's about really getting into that range of full on serenity. I like that. So what I do, so I usually will do something similar to that, but I'll breathe in not peace. No, it is peace. I'll breathe in peace and I'll exhale stress. Yeah. Oh, I got to. I got to. So now check this out. Um, this is the key. There are two ways. Now, this is two-sided for people that cannot meditate, that say they cannot meditate. My wife is one of those people that say she can't meditate, but she got to a point to where, man, it's so deep, man. I need to put something all together in a video. Guys, ladies, gentlemen, man, this is the key right here. All right. Well, there's so many keys. I'm not gonna say there's just one key, man. That'd be stupid. Me saying this is the key is trying to keep you on this video. Let's just be real. But this is one of the major keys. Let's go to the channel, man. You're a first one that you're in secret of the truth. That's what. Oh, facts. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. We're leveling up this year. Um, I'm glad you're here, like 100%. So check this out. When it comes to meditation, if you believe that you're a person that cannot meditate, I'm gonna tell you you're a lie. Everybody meditates, whether they believe it or not. It's just a matter of if your realm of awareness is intact when you do it. Everybody goes into an alpha state at some point when they go to sleep. Okay, this is the meditative realm. There are states beyond that. You have theta and delta, which is a super deep. They can't even measure what happens in delta because uh, oh, well, cool. Glad you're here. Be sure to subscribe. We're talking about meditation, manifestation. We're talking about mentality and pulling ourselves up out of the conditioning of this world so that we can be, do, and have more in life. That's what I'm about. Look, I wouldn't lose this whole channel. I've been hemorrhaging subscribers ever since I switched from being primarily vegan content. All I'm talking about is life lessons and what pulled me out of depression, anxiety, and limiting self beliefs. So, and that's where we're at right now. So, this is what's important. This is what I've been called to do, and this is what I'm dedicating a large portion of my life to. So, for anybody that believes that they cannot meditate, what you're saying is that you don't have a certain level of awareness to be able to calm yourself down so that you can have the type of emotions, personality, belief, and imagination that will give you what you want in life. So the first thing I tell people, see, these type of people that can't do this, they typically lean into being type A personalities. They tend to be the over analytical types. The types of people that when they close their eyes, they're constantly thinking about what can be done, what wasn't done, and how they can execute. They don't have a balance between their hemispheres. So, with somebody like that, the first thing I always say, what is it that you want to meditate for? Well, I want to be calmer. I want to be more imaginative, or I want to have more energy. I want to, whatever it is. The first thing I say, your, if you cannot use your spirit to affect your physical, you need to start out by using the physical to affect the spirit. What does that mean? So if you're a person that has low energy, right? You're a person that has low self-esteem. One of the things that I always like with me, this is what I started with myself. I never really struggled with low self-esteem. There's just topics where I had low self-esteem, right? Going out, starting a new business, or being in a room full of people with more money than me, or whatever. Like I used to be that person. Man, I don't care. I've been years past that, but I'm just being real and letting y'all know where I was at. I can walk into any room now. I can walk in a room full of presidents and literally have the mindset like, I wish somebody would say something to me. But this is what you have to do. You literally have to act as if. And I'm gonna give you a couple of examples that prove this to be the truth. Um, if you have low energy, if you are unhappy in your life, you need to use the physical. If you're unhappy, you can't meditate. You need to use the physical and outwardly acts to influence that internal program, right? So what does that look like? Let's say, what is the normal posture? What is the normal demeanor of a person that is depressed, has anxiety, or whatever? They're normally hunched over. And when you're hunched over, a lot of people don't understand. So me being an EMT, a lot of ailments that I come across in the field when I'm dealing with a patient, they have a dejected posture. They're like this. Environmental stepping stones to support. Exactly, that's a fact. So I would say I would say 75 to 80+% of the patients I come across that have some type of ailment, disease, or condition, their posture is a dejected posture, right? So if that's who we are on a regular basis, we want to be somebody that elevates beyond that, vibrates beyond that, whatever you want to call it. We then need to adjust. Man, these really look like titties, man. I promise without my shirt on, bro. It's like solid city. I don't know what that's about. Anyway, one tip that I've been given that I've always used whenever I feel my posture being off and it's affecting my emotion, I'll put my shoulders back. This is your proper posture. Put your shoulders back. Take your hands right here and put them on your chest. Press your fist up against your chest to where you're kind of retracting your scapula and drop your shoulders to the side. That is your natural posture. That's where you should be at all times, right? So what you'll find is when you do this, you are overriding your autonomic nervous system, and you're using your own physiology, your own innate autopilot physiology to elevate your mood. Oh, I'm telling you, we got to get that posture. I don't have the best posture, man. Years of heavy lifting, years of trying to reach down and listen because I'm 6'5". So you're just trying to reach down and listen, folks. Terrible posture, but I'll work on it whenever I notice it. So that's number one. Act as if. You look at some of these method actors, some of these actors who have made huge strides in their careers, and had Academy Awards, had amazing performances. A lot of them, a lot of times, are method actors. And when you go into method acting, you start to assume the totality of the person's, of the persona of the person or character that you're depicting. And what you'll find is a lot of these people will have large portions. Some of these actors go crazy, and it's not just because of their roles. Part of it is because of of assuming the spirit or the likeness of too many different type of people. Christian Bale, Heath Ledger, one of my favorites. No, and there's some inconsistencies with the backstory of why he passed, but Heath Ledger's another one. Denzel's a really good actor, but somehow he's been able to keep it together. I don't think that he goes method acting, but Robert De Niro is another one. Johnny Depp, woo! Johnny Depp is a bad man. Um, Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix changed. Y'all check out Joaquin Phoenix before the Joker and after the Joker. Always been a kind guy. Still a kind guy. I'd say he might be even more empathetic now. But he definitely changed a little bit. So that's my first recommendation. If you want to have an immediate change in your life, act as if you are the person or individual or whatever that already assumes these things. This applies to depression. This applies to anxiety. Now, I've had both of these. So listen to me when I talk to you. I'm going to tell you some of the things I had to do when I had anxiety. Now, I do believe there are levels to depression. I think that real clinical depression is so difficult to treat. It is like really and truly, if you've ever had clinical depression, meaning that you've seen experts that have seen experts and have seen that, man, it is really difficult. But I wouldn't say I was clinical, but I've had depression, and I noticed there were a few things. Here's the thing with depression: a lot of people that have clinical depression, they're hard to treat because they've had depression so deep, felt it so long and so deeply that internally their spirit craves. They prefer to be depressed. Even if things start to turn around in their life, they will sabotage the good things happening in their life. So depression is so nuanced and really tough, especially when it's clinical. So I'm not gonna entirely speak on depression, but I will speak on anxiety. And these are kind of interchangeable. You just have to figure out on what part of the spectrum you're on. Anxiety, to me, and mind you, I used to be a counselor as well. So I've seen schizophrenia, I've seen different psychosomatic disorders, I've seen just regular disorders, I've seen all this stuff. Yes, they identify with the pain. That's their identity, is to be in pain. That's what they prefer. So This is so
deep, man. This is why it's important. We got people walking around that don't even know how their body works. We got people that walk around that don't understand that their
lungs, their heart is not really on the left side of the chest. Your heart is kind of right here underneath your sternum, more favored towards the left. And when you inhale, blood passes through your circulatory system, goes throughout your entire body as a system, gets oxygenated up through this side and goes back into the heart and gets redistributed. You are a machine, and all that stuff's happening in the background with or without you knowing it.
But if you do know how this stuff works, you can use that knowledge to your advantage. So, when it comes to anxiety, what are the problems with anxiety? We need to identify where anxiety roots from.
A lot of times there's one event. Sometimes it's by the hands of PTSD. A lot of times there's one event that you can pinpoint to that you can say, hey, this is the cause. This was the start of my anxiety. Because typically when you have anxiety, while you're in that anxiety, you're focused. This is the power of your
Imagination. This is why this stuff is important. This is the power of your imagination. When you are in an anxious state, and you
have anxiety. You are communicating to yourself on a spiritual level. You are communicating to yourself on an emotional level, on a physiologic level, that whatever it is in your imagination that you're reliving or creating, you are telling yourself that it is real right here and right now, and that it is an imminent threat to your existence or your well-being in some form or fashion.
yo, listen, I look, it was meant to be, and it was meant to be. I'm about to try to go out of the house and try to make a video about some of this. This is why I like lives, because when I get in front of a camera and try to shoot a video and talk about this stuff, I feel like it has to be neat and put together and stuff. But when I get in front of a live, you know that I know what I'm
Talking about
talking. But anyway, what we think we become.
what we repeatedly think we become. That's a fact. So, with anxiety, there are a couple of tools that you can use to your advantage to change anxiety. So, this goes back to the first point. You need to change your environment, change your surroundings. All right? Change your environment, change your surroundings. One of the things I did
When
when
I had anxiety, I actually went into a darkened room and I got
earplugs. And that caused me to blurt out all external stimulus that would remind me that I was anxious or signal that I need to be anxious. And it caused me, I could hear my heartbeat. So it would have me focus on my breathing and my heartbeat. And that would take my mind off of the anxiety that I was feeling. Now, mind you, it was ironic because a lot of my anxiety was tied up in the fact that I was convinced that I was going to have a heart attack because I just lost my grandfather and I just lost my father within a span of 8 months within the same year from some of the same stuff. But what I had to do was change my environment and I had to get rid of all external stimulus and go inside. Now, with doing that, that allowed me to focus on what was real right here and right now in the present. And it caused me to take life at a moment by moment stage. And as I was listening to my heartbeat, it was kind of like a metronome. It measured the progression of the present moment for me. So all I had to be concerned with what was happening right here and right now. What was happening right here and right now? Not what was in my mind saying what was going to happen, what might happen, what could happen, what should happen, what was happening right here and right now. And I sustained that. It wasn't a long time all the time. Sometimes it was just a couple of minutes. Sometimes it was 5 minutes. Sometimes it was 10 minutes. But the fact that I was able to do that, I would try to do that multiple times a day. And the more I did that, the more I focused on what was true and what was happening right here and right now, I started to build like an unstoppable mindset. And whenever I felt anxiety, I was able to switch it and understand what is true right here and right now. What is true right here and right now is that I'm breathing, that I'm alive, and that as far as I know and I believe, I am healthy. What is true is that I have people that are around me that are supporting me right here and right now in this home. What is true is that I can change my surroundings. So it becomes something that after a while you do it so much it becomes your preset in these situations. Bam!
telling y'all, if you ain't on this live and you've ever dealt with any of this stuff, this is stuff that
Through the process of figuring out on my own, I never sought professional help in the sense of going to the doctor, right? Not
Because
because
it's probably because I'm stubborn, but because I felt like
I felt like at some point people have beaten it, so I can figure it out. Like I'm smart enough to do this, right? I'm strong enough to do this. But sometimes it gets to a point to where you're so far gone, you need to get some type of professional help. But you also have to know yourself, and I know myself. I know myself because then I would beat up on myself and be like, man, I shouldn't need somebody else to help me. I should be smart and equipped and connected enough to help my damn self, right? So all of the stuff I'm talking about, these become tools for elevating in life. Know ourselves and we will know this all. Fact. That is a fact. So now, um,
I'm almost to the point to where I'm comfortable doing an experiment of manifesting something.
specific. But I'm going to tell you some of the things I've done as far as um, energy healing, I guess they call it, when it comes to meditation. So I've done this for my daughter. I've done this for my wife. I've done this for friends. Uh, Maybe I'll save that for another video. It's a method that I use that I'm slowly developing to help uh, heal people, basically. Yeah, it's weird, but we'll save that for another video. All right, man. This
It's
has been
been nearly 30 minutes. If y'all want
any specific videos made. If y'all want any specific topics discussed, uh, put that in the comment section below. Y'all let me know what you want to see because see, it's a lot easier for me to come on these lives and spit this stuff and talk to y'all about this stuff, right? It's a lot easier to do it live because it's in there, it's in me. But when I get behind a camera and I gotta talk and edit and all this stuff, I'm like, man, God, dog.
does this come off coherent? Does this come off the right way? Like, is this being received? It's really different.
Different. It's really different. Um, so this is what you do. These are the things that you do when you feel like nothing is going your way. People's lives change in an instant with one idea, one interaction, or one realization. Okay? In an instant. Your own personal supernatural experiences would be cool. Ha! All right, yeah. Yeah. All right, I could do that. I could do that. Uh yeah, I could do that. My meditations have definitely been supernatural in a way. I've had some vivid dreams that have been warnings. Um, I had a dream that told me who I was going to marry, and I ended up marrying the person, marrying her. I had, yeah, well, not dream. I was doing meditation. Uh, yeah, okay. I don't have too
Too
many
many like crazy supernatural type things.
things that happen, but I do have things like revelations and meditations and dreams and things like that. I'm not really, yeah, I'm not really too afraid of it. It's just, a lot of my experiences on some of that stuff aren't spectacular, but they are outside of the norm. You know what I mean? Um, Things like healings and stuff like that. Sorry, I just got a notification. I remember one times I accidentally did this before I even knew about all this stuff, and I was still like studying the Bible, but I was doing the work. A friend of mine had her sister was battling cancer, and they were telling her it was done, it was over with. Like they were telling everybody to pray, and I remember being in the middle of my prayer, and I just stopped, and I was like, "Wait a minute, like she's fine." And I was like excited, like happy, right? Um, and I felt kind of weird. I felt resonating healers, bro. Hey, I like you. I like bad influence. You might need to change your name to good influence. I remember being in the middle of the prayer and I like stopped and I was just kind of happy about it. I was like, hey, she's good. Like I feel good. Like I'm happy for her. And I didn't tell anybody that because I didn't want it to come off the wrong way, and I didn't want to be looked at as weird. And then it was, I think, a week later, they said um, she was going in for her last treatment, and they said that the cancer had shrunk to like I think it's 75% gone, and that at best she would need one or two more treatments to completely eradicate it, but they were going to watch it. And after another couple of days passed, they said it was 100% gone and she was good. Now, that's not to say that I'm John the healer or I'm John of God. You know what I mean? But that is to say that I can reach back to that experience and then look at experience since then, especially in the past 2 years, um, and have applied the same principles and it's worked. Now, the one thing I wish I could have done is I wish I would have known all of this when my father passed. My father was deep in a lot of stuff too. He meditated, but I don't think that he connected to the field quite like quite like he could have. I think he also was tied up with a lot of stress and a lot of fear. Um, that's another story. I wasn't even there. My phone was out of service when they were calling me, so I wouldn't be able to do anything anyway. But that's another story. All right, people. I'm about to go edit these videos. Hopefully, I have a video out if it's not too late. I have a video out today. If not today, I will most definitely have one Monday. Um, I appreciate y'all for being here. The ones that have stuck around, light work, spiritual angel on earth. You may have psychic tell you that sooner or later. Man, that's crazy. I've had somebody speak a prophetic word over my life before. Before all this, check this out. I don't remember exactly what he said, but I thought it was crazy, so I didn't even think that about it. I used to work with him. Yeah, and it's funny how now where I'm at. Likewise, man, it's an honor to connect with you. We got 5 likes on the video. We had a total of 14 people that tuned in at one point. I appreciate each and every one of you that are here currently. I appreciate you. I hope that this helped you, inspired you, pushed you further, helped you elevate in some kind of way. Understand, we're going to be getting a lot deeper into more of this stuff. We're going to be talking about weird stories of things like this, not just in my life, but just in general that are happening here on Earth and why they work. Until next time, bad influence, I'm glad you're here. Until next time, stay cool, stay smooth, stay rooted in your true identity, and be empowered and encouraged. Until next time, dad life. Also, understand, I do love y'all. And may we ascend. Hey, I like that. Uh Man, yeah. There's so much I want to talk about, but I don't want to get into all this. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.